Howdy y'all! Today we're helping Duddie. He's got an axle here, well, third member for his dart project over there that he picked up from our buddy Robert, Halfway House Garage. Got a really good deal on it. It's been sitting out in someone's yard for 10 years, then in somebody's shop, and then in the back of the trunk for the dart for the last, 6 months. Today we've got to go through this a little bit because we already know there's a couple small issues with it we'll talk about, because he wants to put a spool in it. We've inspected the gears. They look like they're well, maybe okay, and probably we can just pop the carrier out, swap the ring gear over, we're done, put it on the new spool. So let's get started and get this torn apart so we can get it cleaned and then determine, is it trash or treasure. Alrighty guys, so right off the bat we can see that the center pin in the carrier is heavily wallowed out, both sides. And that was our number one reasoning to actually go in and put a spool in this. And a little bit of investigation, we've also determined that this is a factory gear set. Tell by the part number there, and we got a date code there of 5 of 1970, it looks like. So chances are this 489 case came out of a old pickup truck, more than likely. Maybe got used for some hot rodding along the way. But first, before we get to disassembling here, we're going to attempt to check the backlash here, and we kind of have an idea of how loose the gears were set up and whatnot, and we can have a good basic setup to start. So let's just start getting some stuff torn apart here, and we'll see just how good it all is. Alright, so first steps first, we are going to use our fancy dial indicator here. We're going to see if we can get some idea of the setup on this, measuring our backlash. And thank you, Duddie, for making such a fantastic workbench here, because it actually worked out in our benefit, because this magnet is kind of a pain in the butt to set up no matter what. But if we get this just right, maybe about like that. Yep. Bring this down a little bit. Come on, let go. Alright, and we can get on that tooth there. Kind of like that. Get it as straight as possible. Snug up our adjustments there. And let's see. We'll get our dial indicator so y'all can see it a little bit. Now what we're looking for here is a little bit of the wiggle room between the pinion gear and your ring gear. And like I'm seeing very tight. We've got maybe 2, maybe 3 thou. What we're going to do, I'm going to check it in a few different places here. Let's give it a little turn. Get back on there. And again, very, very, very tight. We got like maybe 2 thousandths backlash there. We'll go ahead and do one more spot, but that's already, seeing just turning right there, I've got a real hard spot in everything here. That's never any good. Let's see if we can measure the hard spot. Yeah, that's maybe 1.5 thou right there. So clearly not set up right, or we've got heavy amount of buildup going on. I don't know, but we'll have to definitely clean this stuff up thoroughly, and our idea of, you know, getting a baseline here, that's just out the window. Alright, first step, let's get our side adjusters out of the way. Kind of keep everything organized here left to right. Oh, nothing gets mixed up. Main thing there is to keep your bearing caps in the right place. Yeah, bearing caps off. And now, use your bolts to help you wiggle everything apart here, like that. That side and that side. Alright, get our side adjusters pulled out. Oh wow. Yeah, those are probably the original Timken bearings even. Cool. So let's see if this sucker will cooperate. Yeah, it will. We'll get it moved over to the bench and we'll take a look. Now that we've got the case out of the way, let's just kind of do some inspection here and see if our hard spot is gone. So pretty free right there, as you can see, and we get right about there, and oh yeah, either we have a bent pinion or, yeah, that's the hard spot right there. Hard to say. That's no good. That might have a lot to do why we had no backlash. There's definitely something wrong here. So this isn't looking well already. And we've got a lot of wiggle in bearings. Crush sleeve, I believe these are crush sleeves, 489 case is trashed. And either we have a bent pinion or just more problems than we realized. Alright, let's get this pinion out and see if we can determine what's going on here, because that pretty much has ended Duddie's build an axle project today. Oh, that's good. The pinion nut was definitely like at least 4 foot-pounds. Well, that's promising. And I'm thinking we're just gonna go ahead with the air hammer. Alright guys, let's see if this pinion will pop out. There we go. One yoke, one pinion. Let's get it over on the bench and let's discuss what's going on here. Oh, cool. We got some chunks there. Looks like that's part of the spider gears in the sure grip. Yeah, not ideal. Alright guys, so as you can see, 1 8 3/4 chunk tore down. Now, as we were noticing, our pinion, even after our carrier was removed, was tight to turn. We're not entirely sure what was going on there, but the pinion bearings themselves looked fine. They were definitely original, but no pitting or scarring, nothing like that. The small end on the pinion bearing did kind of explode from being removed, but that was no fault of the bearing. That was just me beating the crap out of it. So we can't install new shiny parts today because we don't have any pinion bearings. So we can, you know, pretend like we don't have that yet. But we do need to look at the pinion. Now, I do not have a lathe to get this thing and, you know, put a dial indicator on it. It would be nice if it did, but we don't. But looking at it, it looks fine. It really does. Now, upon closer inspection, our yoke here has like a dust shield, right, kind of thing, and may not be very easy to see, but right around this area it looks like it hit something and bent it. Now it also has quite a bit of buildup inside there, some mud and whatnot, sticks and leaves. So when you get the seal back on here though and kind of get it back where it was supposed to be, you can see that it definitely has a hard spot by spinning it. And I think that's where our problem was. That's what we're going to go with anyway. Because, quite frankly, the gear set looks pretty nice. They need to be cleaned. And it may not be the perfect gear set, but it's not destroyed. We're going to throw some pinion bearings on this. Not today, because we don't have them. And we can put it back in the case and see what happens. If it's smooth at that point, you know, no problem. And we'll run it. That's really our only recourse right now to determine if our pinion is going to make it or not. Now, as y'all noticed also, the pinion nut was barely on there. Crush sleeve was obviously damaged. Maybe someone didn't torque it correctly at some point in time. There's no telling. But now, let's go ahead and move on to removing the gear off of this carrier, because the damage there is pretty cool. I mean, there was chunks. They're not from the gears. They're, I believe, from the spider gear set inside of here. So let's see if we can get this gear off. They're usually a pain in the butt. Maybe this one will just, you know, fall off. Alright. Note. Ring gear bolts, left hand thread. These are actually labeled L. The new ones, not so much. But, left-handed threads. Righty-loosey. So, let's see if we can get these out of here. Oh God, it smells bad. Oh, thank God. It's just going to slide right off, guys. We don't have to get the torch of doom out. Oh man. Oh. 50-year-old gear oil. Yummy. There we go. Alright, now we can really get a good look at how destroyed this case is. See that, guys? Yeah. That's one side. Same thing on the other. Completely wallowed out. This is junk. So let's take it apart. Okay guys, we got this Sure Grip case split. We have most definitely found our problem areas there. Actually broke out the back of that side gear. We found one tooth. Haven't found the other one yet. Trash, part of that. Inside of there, also damaged. See, they've got trash. Same here. Pretty much busted out where the cross pin goes. Heavily pitted. I mean, and even our thrust washers on the spider gears look like they've been through an 80 grit piece of sandpaper, which is unfortunate. You know, Sure Grips are rebuildable, and this one is not. So that pretty much does it for today, guys. We were going to be installing a nice lightweight spool onto that ring gear and just throwing it back in the car. Yeah, that didn't happen. We're going to get some bearings for this pinion, put it in the case, and determine if this is our culprit, which is bent. Where's it bent? Kind of right in this general area. Whenever you spin the seal in here, it does have a hard spot. So we're hoping that's what the problem was. And if it's not, that's great. Because Duddie just needs gears then, right? Just replace everything. Start over. Alright guys, that does it for today. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. And we'll be doing more of this. Because somebody's got to put Duddie's rear end together, right? Yeah, somebody's got to. Alright, Kitty, you're in frame.